30 seconds into it. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to go. But it's going to be really exciting because you'll be surprised and I'll be surprised. I was thinking about, the kinds of speeches that get given, and what I've heard from people in the past is, oh my God, please don't give the duties of the president are this and that, and mumble, rotation, mumble, die for the house, And so I was like, all right, but that is clearly part of being president, but there's also a whole lot more. I've talked to Chris, I've talked to some other House presidents, and all of them are definitely very keen on the house runs off your tears, as Chris put it. But there's a lot more to it than that. So I started thinking about what it means to be president, right? And I realized, before I can answer that question, I have to answer a deeper, more fundamental curve, and I don't get a bowl. I get a felony negligence. Things to a slave, but honestly, as soon as I pull them out, they take off running. So I was thinking about this, right? And one of the things I've heard mentioned over and over, and that I feel really actually captures the meaning, is that Blacker House is a house that does so much for everyone. And I've had discussions with, I've had very long debates with Ruds about how a house can function without weekly XCOM meetings. It's because we don't need an XCOM to rule the house every second of every day, because we do such a good job of taking care of each other. We don't need 5 or 6 people to take care of us, as a whole. And what it really comes down to is that we give back. Blacker House does so much for us. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been so grateful to be in this house because I'm stressed out and I go into the courtyard and there are awesome people doing awesome things. Or I'm sitting in my room and it's 6 in the morning and someone will come knock on the door and be like, I heard you're having a tough week, here's a cookie. Or I'll be like, fuck, I can't figure out my goddamn set. And there's someone who's like, oh, I know how to do that. And they're done with their work and they stay with me for the next 3 hours to make sure I finish mine. And we take care of each other and we give back. And I try my best to give back in all the ways that I can because I am so grateful for everything that Blacker has done for me. I worked as damage control and I put in more hours than I ever would have liked to. And I work as a UCC, I do stuff like that. And all those things are really important to me and they really matter because I feel like I'm making a difference for the house and also for everyone in it. And to me, that's what president is really about. It is the epitome of that giving back. Like Chris said, the house runs off your tears because you work that hard for it. And you have to put up with a lot of shit from the deans and try to get the IHC to do something besides be a cesspool of sadness, I think you put it. And, things like that. Try to make sure Rickett stays a house because we know we're next. All the things that make sure we keep getting to be here. And that's really why I want to be president, is because this house means a lot to me, and I want to make sure it stays a house. But not just that it stays this great and amazing place. Because in my time in Blacker, I've only ever seen it go uphill. And it's been amazing because every day there's Frost running around doing amazing cool things and I'm like, holy shit, this is so awesome! They're really adorable and awesome crap. And then sometimes I'm like, holy shit, Frost, what did you just do? It has gotten to the point where someone says, oh, I need Andre's attention. I'll ask if he knows where the plaster is. And then I'm like, oh my god, who the fuck broke what? But, I've done the late hours, I've done those times, and I know the president's going to be a lot of work, and yeah, I've certainly struggled a bit, but you know, coming into this term, I realized how much of a commitment it is to be a part of this house and to try to serve this house. And I really got my shit together, not because like, oh, I want that 5.0 GPA and get into med school or whatever the hell it is that people here do. You know, it's because I want to be able to do the best I can for this house, and that means figuring out my life so I can help out the houses. Because I go back home and I talk to people about the house and, you know, what it means, and you kind of try to explain this. Yeah, there are places, you know, people that are in like frats or whatever, they've lived with their friends in a suite for the last 10 years. You're like, I can try to explain this to you, but you're never going to understand. Because to me, Blacker House is a home and a family. And I love everyone in this house, even at the times where I hate almost everyone in it. To know that, like, pretty much everyone else feels about the same way. And to be honest, there's nothing there's nothing else I can say that makes me more proud than to say that I am a mole. And I want to make sure that for every year that I'm here, every other person in this house can have that same feeling of pride that I do.